another Alpha Media podcast, episode 16. And today it's been inspired by recent events in the UK with Boris stepping down as Prime Minister. I put a poll on my Instagram story asking if people wanted us to do this video, and everyone said yes, that they'd like us to do this and give our sort of thoughts and our opinions on it all. What we've decided to do is we're going to go through the Prime Ministers over the most recent, over the last few years, sort of what they were faced with, what things they put in place and achieved, I guess, in their reign as Prime Minister, and then sort of come up to current sort of times and current day, and then go through the candidates that will be sort of looking to be voted and take over after Boris. So, Dave, would you like to start with first?
Absolutely. Hello, guys. Dave here, the other part of Alpha Media. Right, so let's start. So we've essentially started this from 1997. So the Prime Minister at that time who was in charge from 1997 to 2007 is probably in the list that we've created one of sort of the longest standing Prime Ministers, was Tony Blair. So in 2004, he has legalized same-sex marriage. Then, because of what has happened, obviously he became sort of an icon for that as well. It said online that he was the one who sort of made a major step towards that. Just going back slightly to 9/11, which is probably one of those events that shook the whole world as well back in 2001. The 9/11 became a defining moment in his career because of the support and the resource that Tony Blair was sending over to America to support and help with everything. That sort of defined his career. Also, another thing that I want to say war related, but obviously had a massive sort of impact on his career was to do with the war in Iraq and everything to do with obviously Saddam's sort of weapons and things like that and how it was dealt with. He obviously had a massive part in that as well, to what he was doing and how he was supporting. Then we move on to Gordon Brown from 2007 to 2010. It's only a nice little 3-year, spell for Mr. Brown. So he was the one who introduced neighbourhood policing in every area. So as I'm sure you can see those community police officers around the UK, those lovely individuals. They were obviously the creation of Mr. Gordon Brown. So well done, sir. And he also was, he created the world's first climate change act. So he had a key part in that, and how obviously he defined the UK as obviously leading into climate change and how it obviously got introduced to the world and things. And also, the biggest thing that probably obviously hit his career was worldwide financial crash, which we all know, remember, and still recover from, to be fair, because that crap is never ending. That is still going till now. So those are the two that I've got. Over to you, Benjamin.
Then we go on to David Cameron from 2010 to 2016. He created the first green investment bank, leading role in climate change. So the climate change thing was still going on and happening. And then started and sort of kicking off the referendum for the EU and to vote to leave. Then 2016, 2019, we've got Theresa May. Sort of put in place acts, long-term acts against racism and NHS mental health. We obviously left the EU in that time in her reign. Unemployment reached an all-time high through those years and that time. 2019 to current times, in current day, Mr. Boris Johnson. So obviously the Brexit off the back of the EU leaving that. The unemployment's still carrying on, it's still high. The COVID world pandemic that happened, and the Ukrainian war and supporting that, which is obviously still going on right now. So I guess sort of where we go sort of from here is, I guess, our opinions and views from Prime Minister, really, what they sort of face. Like, in my opinion, doing this research before this podcast, it kind of opened my eyes a bit. I think we all sort of stand there and say, "Oh, we all have our opinions at the time," and "Oh, they haven't done much," and "Oh, they haven't done this." Actually, when I was putting in the research and looking into it all, I realised, wow, how long they were Prime Minister for, because I always thought that they were shorter than what time they actually did. Most of them did longer than what I thought. And the stuff they did actually achieve in those times. So, you have to kind of credit them in a way. Like, they're not going to keep everyone happy and achieve everything, but I think there is stuff that is achieved. But at the same time, I know that they do it, and it's happening now, obviously, with the new candidates that are all pitching their speeches to obviously get voted for. But they do promise the world. Obviously, by promising the world, they don't always deliver on that, do they? What's your sort of views?
Well, every Prime Minister on that list obviously has got his sort of positives and negatives, but when it comes to campaigning as well, you know that to get the votes, to get the majority of votes to actually win the elections, you have to sell to the people. Obviously, going after that, it depends on the new elected Prime Minister to do what they want, really, with the things that they wanted to sell to the public. But nonetheless, I think with obviously Tony Blair and his sort of career, when you sort of start going through the whole list, obviously he's the longest one in the spell of last sort of 15 to 20 years. He's done a lot. He achieved. Going to now, I'm going to obviously skip from then to now. Obviously, Boris had quite a bit on his plate, to be perfectly honest. Yes, a lot of things he promised never sort of got achieved and done. I think obviously with the pandemic and everything, that sort of obviously got his plans a little bit derailed slightly. But yeah, it feels like this. He had a plan. He sort of achieved it. I know there was quite a bit of things that he has done as well. Obviously, with the COVID, he rolled out vaccines first. We've done the most of the jabs to all the sort of people in the UK and things like that. So obviously, it was quite. He quite kicked it off really, really well, obviously, to get where we are currently now. 2 years later, we don't have to wear masks, essentially. Everything is sort of open. We're sort of back to normal reality and normal life. Obviously, we're paying the price for, people being off and obviously everything sort of going up in prices. But, that's I was going to say it's not the natural thing, but it's sort of thing what we could expect potentially after such a massive 2 years of, nothingness and people staying at homes for 6 to 8 months. So yeah, he did have a lot on his plate. A lot of things he'd done well. Yeah, a lot of things he'd done wrong. But when you go through the whole list that we just talked about, everyone's got a bit of that, isn't it? It's just how you look at it. People's opinions always going to be negative of some because you haven't delivered this, you haven't delivered that. It's always going to be the case. But I think essentially the new Prime Minister that's going to have to step in now is going to have a lot to fix and a lot to prove to people that actually, I'm worthy of that title, because you don't want to end up with another sort of Boris kind of situation where you say one thing and you don't achieve it,
Yeah, that's well put, to be fair. Okay. I've always kind of said that you kind of picking a bad person out of a bad bunch, as I've always seen politics, because they always seem to promise the world, like you just said, and with obviously to get the votes. and straight away they're in power and obviously expected to deliver.
Everything goes out the window, doesn't it?
Certain things, and obviously they can have unforeseen stuff happen that derail some of their plans. You give them that, like with wars, many wars and things have happened, as you can see throughout the list over that span. Things happening, as well as like the first time ever that a world closed down from a pandemic. It's the first time in history, so he's had that to deal with, along with every other world leader. I guess like when we were doing the research, I was looking through that. Is that I think it's funny how a lot of it was very same topic, and it's like it circles around again. So unemployment being high was on there all the time, but it's like there's a war happen or there's taxes go up, things, and it kind of chain reacts and knocks the same issues, and then they've got to fix them. And like a lot of the time, my views on it is that the powerful people at the top, the rich people who control everything, are obviously making money every time out of all of this and everything. So it's like a problem here we've got to fix, but behind the scenes we have created this problem. But I don't know if people actually realise and understand that politics, if you know.
Mm.
So yeah, but let's sort of talk about candidates that are so coming up and obviously having their say now after Boris. I'll try not to butcher the names as I read them out. I might just go first names to be fair, because some of the surnames are like really weird. So we've got Rishi, Penny, Jeremy, Sulan, Kinmi, Liz, Tom, and Nadine, the candidates. Obviously, I don't know every single person on that list, what they're doing or what their position is currently and stuff. I haven't gone that far into research, but the name that we discussed beforehand, the podcast that stood out to us and sort of our opinions, probably thought or think is sort of the best person really to go next. As we mentioned about Rashid.
Yeah. I think if you ask me, he's done an incredible, massive job with, people going on furlough and how long we've actually had it for. And yeah, it just shows that, I know obviously he had sort of the guidance from the Prime Minister or whatever the case was, but I think he's done an incredible job in the space of time that he had to actually help and support people when they needed it, at a crisis time, essentially a pandemic. He is a people's person as well. He seems to care about, people's opinion, what they think, and how things should be, really. So I feel that if, he was going to be a potential candidate for Prime Minister, you'll see some great things happen, which I think this country, after the spell of bads that was happening, I think it needs. So yeah, from my opinion, go Rishi. Woo!
We kind of watched his recent speech. It's about 24 hours old. Before this, and listening to some of the things he got to say, kind of obviously because of the position that he's just done and what he has to deal with. Obviously, he's talking about fixing taxes and the economy and stuff like that, and that he will get taxes down. It's a matter of it's just a matter of when, sort of thing. So I love how they pick all their words. They like commit, but then don't. Still leave it woolly and open, don't they? When you listen to how they word everything. But yeah, it's kind of obvious approach that I would have assumed before listening to his speech that he would take. Is that sort of stuff. He didn't really touch too much on other things, though, did he? He
No.
didn't talk about the Ukraine war, I don't think, and other bits to do outside of the country, but maybe, obviously, the primary focus is fixing ourselves first, isn't it, and covering them things off. So
Yeah. In the space of last 10 years, this is just an example, the price of petrol and diesel has gone up £1, yeah? So whatever it was 10 years ago, what it is now, was it 98 or 99 pence? So essentially £1 when you look at it. Obviously, national insurance went up. All the other costs went up. Living has gone up as a whole, essentially, which makes things difficult for some people. Some people can't afford things. Some people need to really money manage on a monthly basis. Living from paycheck to paycheck for some. So I think if he was to obviously get some serious things done, it would help, and it would just bring that confidence back to the people. I think that's what people want, just restoring that faith. Well, actually, the government is trying to help me and support me. It's not just feeding the rich; it's also feeding the poor as well, and making sure that they've got enough to live every single month, and they, have a decent or comfortable life. No one wants to see anyone struggle. No one wants to see people wintertime struggling for heat. Because gas prices and electric prices go up. So yeah, if that comes, if he becomes, it'll be good to obviously see that.
And now, quick break for adverts. Right, what's going on, guys? Dave here from Alpha Media Team. If you are thinking about starting a podcast, but you do not know where to begin or where to start, why not try and give Riverside FM a go? It's a great new tool for the fraction of the price that allows you to create great podcasts with editing capabilities of very expensive programs. So why not click the link in the bio and start your journey on becoming and having the best podcast on the internet.
I'd take this opportunity to talk about what we're about here at Alpha Media. We inspire others to start an online business, give them the blueprints, show them the way to start making their first commission online and escape the 9 to 5. We should have a link listed somewhere, either around or beneath this video in the description. If you click on that link, you'll go through to a web page. On that web page there'll be a video with myself or Dave talking through what those sort of next steps look like and through that process. Apart from that, thank you for taking the time to watch our content and enjoy the rest of the podcast.
Canva is a graphic design tool that works to simplify the process of digital design. Canva allows for image editing and project-based learning using a simple drag-and-drop interface that works well even for younger students. From brainstorming as a group working collaboratively to individual project creations, it has lots of potential uses in the classroom. If you would like to try your skills at Canva, please click the link in the description.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think from me and my opinion is that I've been a manager and a leader for years, and I know you have as well, Dave. But different industry, obviously, it's nowhere near the scale of obviously a world leader or a prime minister, but it's still the general principles of leading is that I feel all I want is just to fix the basics. Just fix the basics. Whenever I've had to take over a project or a department or whatever as a leader, that is where I focus, to just getting back to basics. There's a term that is always used, and I feel the same with the country right now. Is get back to the basics, fix obviously all the bits you've just said, Dave, and get us strong again. Like we've just left the EU and all the Brexit, and that's all happened. And basically, the EU was like a membership club. And we've just left that and kind of gone back to all the problems we had before UK ever joined it many years ago. Yeah. Obviously, we were kids, or it was before our time because it's gone that long. And there was like power cuts back in the day, in 19 whatever it is, like I said, in our parents' time. And we're now being told that again, there'll be power cuts and thingies and power cuts this winter coming, and the gas electric prices have gone up by X amount of percentage, and they're going to go up a further, 30 or 60% again, even higher when it gets to the winter. But people don't know that or are not prepping for that. We've not really felt the squeeze or the pinch yet, because we're now in summer and we're having one of the loveliest UK summers that we've had in years. We've had a pretty mild winter last winter. We're now going into like a decent summer for us, like spring and summer. So we haven't felt that yet until it gets to this winter. Guaranteed. I'd put money on it, it'll probably be a cold or like it'll fling me or it'll be a bad winter for us. So everyone will be needing to use their power and everything more. And I bet that's when all the cracks will start appearing and then all the problems and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, rather than being reactive over the issues, what are we doing from a leadership point of view of our country as like a proactive, what are we doing now? Knowing this is going to happen, do you know what I mean? That's where my head's at with it. So
yeah, it's going to be one of those. For a new prime minister, it's going to be really tough. There's going to be some tough decisions to make. There's going to be some people that he will make unhappy, I suppose, because there's certain people need or require certain things. But actually, if he wants to help the people and be the people's person, then yeah, absolutely, do what's right. Start from the bottom, work your way up on the list of all the things that still need fixing and stuff. But yeah, do the main things, do the most important things. Get people some more money in their pockets. Essentially, that's what it is, isn't it? Like winter is going to be tough if it's going to be really like this summer. So if summer's really good, the winter's going to be really cold. So yeah, something for poor people. But yeah.
What I would say on the back of that is that I don't put it all in the Prime Minister's lap as well. I think, and this might get hate on it on this video, is that I think some of the UK citizens need to kind of look at themselves in the mirror a bit and think about what can they be accountable for and change. Like, we've got such high unemployment right now and people sitting on the benefits and the support and continue to sit after the COVID. And we left the EU and like biggest thing that most people voted for, or what was pushed in people's faces to vote for, and the angle was, well, stop immigrants coming and stop this, which is still happening, by the way. It hasn't stopped it all. And a lot of them people actually took a lot of our lower end jobs as a country and a lot of our stuff, and they're happy doing it, had a smile on their face doing it. And the UK people used to whinge something rotten saying, oh, I can't get a job because foreigners or the thing here taking our jobs. Well, now those jobs are open, they're free. You look on Indeed right now, and for months and months, there's just no end of jobs being advertised. The companies can't get them, can't get the people. And people just sit on the benefits stuff they're not getting or going for the work. And it's like, what I'm trying to get at is, I think we need to hold ourselves as a UK, as our citizens of our country, hold ourselves a bit accountable and not just throw it all in the Prime Minister's lap as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I think it's a two-way street, to be fair. And like on the back of that, if financial thing's always been so, it's been a struggle for you, and it's something that you've really wanted to change, or you've wanted a side hustle or an online business or anything, and just want to change in direction in your life, well, we say it on every podcast. Well, check what we're about. Check our links and our videos and descriptions, and we'll show you the blueprint and show you the way. How to start an online business, and soon we will have a course releasing that will go in further detail how to achieve that within 6 days. So make yourself on the road, on the journey to financial freedom. So yeah, please give that a check. Check out our description. So,
how great would it be to have extra income in your pocket and then buy something that you always wanted? Spend a few hours on a laptop creating something that will sustain you and allow you to create multiple streams of income, but just following a few steps. If you're keen on learning new things, and if you're willing to spend a few hours a day on a laptop or a computer or whatever, and you know what the end goal is, which is just creating extra income, just to help you, even pay the bills, or even buy yourself something, or even go on that amazing holiday that you always wanted. Yeah, why not try us, what we're about. We've been through the journey. We've taken the steps out. We are currently, like Ben said, creating a course that will hopefully help all you guys take all the necessary steps to essentially create online businesses that will then generate you that. We've cut all the crap out. I'll say this straight. We've taken all the stuff out that is unnecessary sort of voices that will just distract you. Like all those things that you find on YouTube when you go and search how to make money or whatever. In 24 hours you can become a millionaire. It's not the case. The consistency, willing to learn something new, and willing to actually sacrifice a few hours of your day, will help you do that, check what we're all about, because it's good. There's more good stuff to come. We're currently in the process of obviously finishing off last few bits. Soon you guys will be able just to click and join our journey, to help you and supported you, for a better future. It's what we all need.
I think we'll sort of round out the video here, really. It was more of a serious topic today. It was more based for the UK sort of fan and what we were asked to sort of do, and we've done that. If there's any other topics people would like us to do or talk about, whether it's anything from politics to business to entrepreneurship and life, then please drop a comment or you can DM us, and we're sure to get back to you. We're always working on getting the best guests we can to come onto our show. And just keep providing you guys with variety of sort of business entrepreneurs, industries, anything that we can. Please give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for when we release new videos. All of that will really help. It'll really go a long way. And that's it from here. Just like to say thank you, Dave.
And a thank you from me, guys. Just make sure you like and subscribe to all our videos. We really appreciate that. And obviously comment below. Any hate you've got, any support you've got, down below, guys. Use it, but don't abuse it. All right? We'll see you next week, guys. Take care.
Bye.